Okay, so we are being recorded. Welcome, everybody. Thank you very much for coming that promptly. We are fairly busy today with Nikos already in starting blocks, ready for rocking and telling us all about new principles. But before I allow Nikos to take the floor, I would like to update you what's going on in InterManager. Obviously, at the moment, Mark is with us now. Okay, well, Mark, since you are here, um, usually it's you who starts everything. So, Mark, over to you, sir.
Well, you started. You've jumped the gun, haven't you? Unless my clocks are. I'm very punctual, Cuba. Greetings to everybody. Hope everyone's well. Nothing much to say actually. I haven't heard more on endorsement efforts on the general principles. I don't know, Cuba, whether you have. I was hoping that some of the other XCOM would have information for us, but they may have informed you. We do need to keep the momentum going. I must say I've done other things since the last meeting, but if I need to get back involved. But I do think some of the bigger members XCOM members need to be pushing their clients for endorsements. I don't know whether do we have any information on further endorsements?
No, unfortunately, the latest one, which I will update everybody because Mark, we will in contact together, and the latest one is probably my Nautical Institute endorses us fully. That adds another NGO. But otherwise, no, the latest one which we provided, and it was a press release going to everybody, and that's the status quo. So press release plus Nautical Institute now.
There must be, XCOM must have other clients and big contacts to get endorsed. It can't just be us. We please, can we have an XCOM meeting to sort of discuss this and push this forward, because we did all commit to this, and I'm not seeing the effort going in. It is effort, and we do need to do it, otherwise it'll just fizzle out.
Absolutely indeed.
We do also have ISWAN.
Yes.
ISWAN now. Okay, very good. Thank you. That's right, Debbie. Okay, moving on. IMO, very busy at the moment. Almost everybody in London because MEPC. Paddy McKnight is there, and some of our members actually attended. Debbie was there last 2 days as well, and I've got a very good feedback from what's happening there. Human Element Industry Group meeting tomorrow, and we will be talking about enclosed spaces because that's usually the major subject. Having said that, there is a very bad, I would use that word, I think bad, criminalization case in Turkey at the moment, and there are 2 ships now. There is 10 guys being held in prison, and there is another 26, I believe. We are trying to establish what's going on, why is this happening, but the criminalization continues, and it is a really bad news for us. And at the moment, I think we are trying to keep the lead on that, but press will finally get a sniff of it, and that doesn't look very good for the shipping industry, where our own seafarers are being criminalized and very little being done to release them or to improve the situation. Next week, Riviera organizes a webinar, and I will be speaking at this webinar about our new principles. The idea is of a self-appraisal in a way of improving quality of ship management. So, and obviously next week we're all gearing up for the Easter, but I hope to have a message prepared for you all, wishing you all the best next Thursday, just before we all close the offices and go for the Easter. So that's all from me as far as I'm concerned and my agenda for today. I will scan the screen now. Is there anybody who would like to add something? Good news regarding our new principles, maybe? No. Okay. Nikos, over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the invitation. I will need, of course, to share my screen. I don't know if I can do that, Cuba. Let me check.
Yes,
I think I can, and that's fine. So first of all, can everybody see?
Yes, we do.
My screen? That's fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you for the invitation. I'm Nikos Andreadis from Alpha Marine. I'm managing the human factors protocols. We would like to thank InterManager and specifically Mark and Kuba for the great honor and opportunity to participate in this very ambitious project. I would like to tell you that through the inspiration we got, we have managed to work on something that we consider it will be the shipping business essence and the philosophy of what we call ship management for the next decades. It totally reflects the strong values of InterManager, and you will see that in the KPIs where everything is reflected in a very practical manner. We have managed to incorporate, and we tried to be simple yet effective, innovative, and allow me to say that we put a lot of emotion in this project's development. It incorporates all the best practices of the industry and actually goes well beyond. For our experience, I can assure you that it goes well beyond compared to any standards we have today. So it's quite holistic. We have used quite of, let's say, philosophy and orientation things like, for example, we consider change to be an opportunity while stagnation is a threat. We focus on commitment and not on compliance and many other things. So you see here that the aim of the code is to ensure commitment to safety, environmental protection, sustainable operations by everyone that associates with InterManager, and it will create a network that all companies would ultimately want to be part of. It will make us unique. This is the focus. We hope and we are totally confident that it will help us continuously improve the professional and ethical standards in the members and, of course, in the industry. And we want to believe that it will make and it addresses companies that not simply want to be passengers, but actually active leaders on progress on all levels in shipping. We have to note here that the code, the management code is not something that is static, but it's actually adaptable. You know that business and shipping specifically is quite dynamic, and we always need to adapt to new challenges and new needs. Now, the whole idea and the whole path, if you want, it is based on this 4A success path, and where the companies, if they start and they are in, let's say, candidate member, or they don't have the standards that are, we would like for them to, have their new companies. We will help them, InterManager and Alpha Marine specifically, in cooperation. It will be there to assist in developing, for them to develop a strategy and commit to their goals. And we hope that through these advanced stages, they will reach, and all the companies that this will be the target, they will reach acclaim, and they will incorporate the higher standards and the strong reputation in the market that we believe that everybody will wish to get to achieve. Now, the code is people and human-centered. These are the three actually strong pillars and the three strong components. It incorporates KPIs and best practices that focus on efficiency, innovation, and sustainability at its core, of course. So we have a human-oriented code, human-oriented business, human-oriented companies that they will focus on efficiency, of course, through with a top priority of an effective and safety culture as a basic, as a top priority, as a standard. Now, you will see that if you have got the code in your hands, you will see that we have 3 specific pillars, and we have under each 3 pillar 5 subcategories, and each category have their own KPIs, and we will see that as we progress with this presentation. So under care and respect for people, there is diversity, inclusion, and equal opportunities with specific KPIs, bullying and harassment. These are very important stuff in 2024 and in the future, of course. Stakeholders, health and well-being, social responsibility, and partnership. So the last one, partnership, is very important for us because exactly for what I told you in the beginning, that we consider and we hope that all members of InterManager will create a very strong network where lessons learned and best practices will be shared. Continuous development and optimization, of course, we need to have good business, and we consider ethical business and sustainability to make good business sense. So you will see that we have specific KPIs for ethical business, innovation and change, for example. We consider change to be an opportunity and not stagnation. We need to be proactive and so on and so forth. And you will see that also there are many KPIs that revolve around effective human resources. The concept here is that we need to start hiring character, not only a skill. So that's something fundamental. And last pillar, but not least, the effective safe culture, where we need to have commitment to safety. We need companies that they walk, if I can get this expression. They are committed to safety. We have human factors at its core. It's very important. And of course, sharing of lessons learned as a priority, and be proactive and share these best practices within our network. Now, you will see now that the structure, this is how we worked. We wanted to have something we consider to be innovative, not just focusing on KPIs, but communicating to all of us the orientation, the what and the why, building aligned cultures, and then, of course, making this what and why practical on how. And you will see in the next slide the how, the KPIs. So, for example, we have here the what we want to achieve, and that's the ethical business and sustainability sub-pillar. And we have this text where we try to explain why we want to believe that, why we want to aspire, why we want to achieve this specific sub-pillar. And this can help, of course, the companies align, and everybody with us to align the culture and the mindset around this task. So, and here you will see we have this expected behavior KPIs. This is the how. And as these KPIs progress, you will see that they incorporate standards and things that most companies already should abide by them, but they are innovative because as you progress with the KPIs, the numbers progresses, you will see that we have specific and more innovative standards that make the difference compared to other standards in the industry. For example, if you see number 4, you will see that we need to have an ethics and compliance plan that is building around 5 principles, and this is business strategy and culture of integrity and so on and so forth. These details are, and KPIs are all around the place. Now, how this can be achieved? Of course, initially, the members can go through an annual self-assessment. So there's a tool that's built around this idea, this KPI. So you have an annual self-assessment tool where you can proceed through these steps, make your self-assessment, identify gaps, and of course, InterManager and we as a consulting company, we are there to assist with our expertise, to support you in order to get you into this improvement cycle and help you through this 4A path, help you succeed and incorporate as many KPIs as possible and be part of the team. This is the tool. It's pretty straightforward. It has 4 levels where you can actually declare what you have achieved after you have done your, let's say, gap analysis. And it incorporates all the texts that you have seen before, that I have shown you before, and the KPIs, the expected behavior KPIs. And of course, you can provide your supporting evidence documentation in order for you to declare your initial level. And then every year you can prepare, improve with our help, and incorporate as much as possible. So that's all from me. I hope that this was self-explanatory. I try to be focused. I try to explain as much as I could our philosophy and the structure of this principle of code of ethics. And I'm ready for your comments and questions.
Thank you, Nico. Thank you very much. And I've got a first question immediately. Have you been contacted by any of our members? Because we have been mentioning Alpha, and people were asking. There is a lot of well, discussion there was whether Alpha is the only organization which will be doing that. We said obviously not. There is a self-assessment, and that's what needs to be done. However, Nikos and his team are there to help and assist. So have you been contacted? Have you been any interactions between you and our members already?
As far as I know, as to this place, I don't have any kind of such information. We are expecting members to come and seek our guidance and help. We will be very happy to provide. But as of now, I don't have any relevant information about this.
I'm delighted to say that obviously we are keeping a tab on how many people downloaded the self-assessment, and it's coming to the thousands now, which is very, very good. It might be that it's so self-explanatory that people are just getting it, self-assessing themselves, and being very happy. Maybe a bit of a cynical of me says, that would be really good success. That would be probably first in this world. Then we have prepared something which is so obvious, so clear, so nice that people are just going for it. So hence my question. And I have to say that I haven't been asked. We have, Mark, received now 2 messages from the members reporting that they have done it. Right. And we said something like 1st of April, we are expecting our existing members to actually have a go and check the self-assessment, whether it is what they expect, and they comments and they feedback. And the feedback we have received was very positive, showing that indeed this is a very good strategy and a very good form for somebody who already has something, because it puts things into order, shows them which areas are being addressed already and what is expected. And there was a comment also for those who haven't been as advanced, then it's a very good, because it shows what is level 1, 2, 3, and what's the aspiration, where to go, and so on. But I have to say that there was very, very little feedback so far. So, Mark, maybe over to you as a driving force for this project.
Yeah, first of all, I should have introduced Alpha Marine as well. For those of you who don't know Alpha Marine is one of the leading maritime consultants based in Greece. We as an organization have certainly used them in many instances, both on the wet and the dry side of our business, in tankers and in containers, bulkers, MPPs. Whenever we need specialist advice, they're incredibly highly respected by all of the oil majors, or energy majors as we refer to them now, and also many of the big trading houses worldwide. And that is why we collaborated with them in putting forward these general principles. Clearly, they're there to help as well, and the quid pro quo for doing the general principles for us at such a commercial rate, a very good commercial rate, was that they would then be open to these inquiries of any of our members who need to touch base with them, and not only inquire as to how to complete the self-appraisal, but also where that self-appraisal shows gaps, as it will for all of us, how to fill those gaps. and how to get our companies on better paths and more modern paths in the various aspects which the general principles address. So, you know, Alpha Marine have been fantastic partners in the past and on this, and hopefully we will use them to all of us to show us the way forward to develop our company so that we can better self-appraise going forward. I do think as well, where self-appraisal becomes external third-party appraisal, having Alpha Marine as the third-party appraiser who's going to do that in a kindly way for the foreseeable future, so that we learn. And this is a learning process. It's not a penalization process. It's so that we all improve the standard of our operation. That is going to be of assistance to us, and that's why we've suggested that Alpha Marine, at least for the first few years, dare I say, is the third-party appraiser. Clearly, the classification societies will want to get involved, and indeed Lloyd's Register also indicated, you know, in endorsing the principles, also saying, you know, we'd very much like to help in certain aspects. And I think Alpha can liaise with Lloyd's Register and any other. We haven't approached the other classification societies yet, but they will. So I think classification societies and organisations like Alpha Marine will be, or should be, the assessors, because the assessment has to stand up to scrutiny, and we want it to be in a kind way for this initial few years introduction, rather than a harder way, which might be the approach of some of the classification societies or others that haven't been involved in the drafting. So, you know, to conclude, we can only speak extremely highly of Alpha Marine. They know the general principles inside out. They will themselves, please, Nikos, too. You know the Greek market inside out. They're all clients of yours. Please go forth and get the endorsements from the context that you have, because I think that will pay dividends for you too, but it will also pay dividends for us. You know, we need to get as many people to endorse these general principles as possible so that we get more momentum. I'll throw myself back into it now too, but I really wanted to see what was coming from others on that route. If we as a membership are apathetic about these general principles, how the hell do we expect the outside world to take us seriously? I mean, really. So, you know, please, sorry to moan, but please, especially those XCOM members on this call, contact your client bases, and it's a very, I have found it extremely helpful when talking to my clients to say, look, we're pushing these general principles. We, Columbia, want to raise the standards. We think we're pretty much there, but we want to raise the standards of this industry. It's a great excuse to pick up the phone to your clients and have a discussion and talk about something positive and something which is for the good of the industry, not just for the good of the organization that you're representing. So please do that. You know, my thanks to Alpha Marine. Perhaps Nikos could just explain the appraisal process, the third-party appraisal process. I mean, the self-appraisal process is easy. We're in the process of doing that, and you know, you address each of the areas in turn. Many of the areas are reflected from your TMSA self-appraisals and other self-appraisals that you do, perhaps in the context of ESG, etc. So it causes you to rethink some of what you're doing. So it's a very simple process. But that third-party appraisal, which will come in, I think that's what's caused not concern, but a little bit of trepidation in the membership. How do you see that, Nikos? And we're yet to come to that. But how do you see that third-party assessment? Because what we've said to the membership is, look, this is not A, it's not pass or fail, and B, you won't be disclosing the results. You won't be saying CSM is rubbish on this or this or this or this to the XCOM, and then all my competitors can say, oh, when we go out and pitch for business, we can say we know that they don't do this. No, you'll only raise the issues when they are extremely serious, and where you are auditing a member that really refuses to abide by the general principles and clearly exhibits an intention not to. That's really all that we as XCOM want to see. That's as much policing as we want to do. Really, then it's a very confidential thing between you and the. But how do you just explain how you would go about that? And I think that's will be helpful.
First of all, we hope that we will not get into this kind of situation, that we will need to liaise with a member that they don't want to abide by these general principles, because it doesn't make any sense to do that. The standards that we have in the general principles, of course, they reflect many of the KPIs that you will find in RightShip or TMSA and so on and so forth. So they should be there. Of course, we have raised the bar, and there are more things to be done. So we believe that this will be a rare occasion where we will face this kind of challenge. We are there to help. We are there to identify gaps for the company, not to expose the company, but rather to show how they can become better and provide solutions on how they can fill the specific gaps. So we are partners in a specific path, which is of course confidential. As we always do, we never share information about what we see and what work we've done with companies. That's completely unethical, and we could totally refrain from that. And of course, we will liaise with the InterManager committee, not just to show gaps, but help the member liaise with the InterManager committee and provide solutions in order, as you have seen in the first slides of this presentation, to help and lead the company walk this 4A path to success. So this is the way we think, and this is our philosophy, and this is how we approach it. And we are there for us, it will be a complete failure not to help a company progress and achieve this 4A path. We take it personally, if I may use this kind of term. So allow me to say here that as a part of the team and part of all this project, we don't see it just as a project or as an initiative. It makes sense to us to improve shipping. And personally, me as Nikos, I was very honored and very engaged on that, because I understand that I have impact on that. So this is what we want to do. We want to make shipping better. And that makes sense in all the respects, business-wise, safety-wise, sustainability-wise, socially-wise. This is what we need to do. And we developed, with the help of Mark and Kuba and the inspiration they gave us and the guidance they gave us, we are completely and 100% confident that we have created what we believe are the standards of the decades to come. This is where shipping should be. And we think that it's a great opportunity for members now, not to be afraid that gaps will be revealed, that they will be found subpar. We don't believe that we will find companies that we will consider subpar, especially InterManager members. What companies should think is that they should be engaged to that, build the basis for the future, stand out, be leaders, be pioneers in the future. And that makes sense in every respect. This is the legacy that the companies, the future, the companies that really want to make a difference, this is the legacy they should build. And we provide the how, the why, the what, the why, and the how. We provide it, and we are here to help them implement it and achieve it. It's more than consulting. We as Alpha Marine, we are not here just to give practical solutions, but to guide and help you resolve problems that may be more cultural, if you want. We are ready to do that, and we will do that. And we will also liaise with the InterManager committee to help the members achieve. At the end of the day, we want to go somewhere, okay? As Mark said very well, we don't want to penalize. This is not a law for people to, and we are trying to police them and see where they break it or not. This is not the way. This is a way to take the best out of the companies. This is what we have done. Mark and Kuba, if you disagree with anything I'm saying, please feel free to correct me, because I take the initiative to personally express.
I was just reflecting to myself, actually, then what we are creating is the environment actually for success for everybody to do that.
Yeah.
It's now the matter of persuading people that this is precisely what it is. It's what it says on a tin, but also get them, dive into it. You won't know anything until you try. And I think that's what Mark is saying. Guys, let's get on with it. The time is coming. You can bring the horse to the water, basically, and you can't make it drink. But there is a lot of very good flavor being poured into the water, and all sorts of incentives to just try it, see how it works. And if it doesn't work, tell us. But we are fairly confident and it should work because it has been around, it has been already discussed in several meetings and different committees. Therefore, it should really work. I think
you saw from those endorsements that we got from some of the really key players, JP Morgan, etc., in the industry, that these general principles have gone down extremely well. I mean, they show an industry sector that is, it's far from perfect, and accepts it's far from perfect, but is willing to improve and open itself up to third-party scrutiny. So we've really got to, and we will, be very ruthless in driving this home, because I want to use it personally, as I'm sure others, to differentiate what we do compared to those competitors who, I think I relayed the story to you, that when I said, please join InterManager, they said we don't give a damn about what the others do. Well, that can't be reflective of this industry. It just can't. And even if you take this at the human level and the seafarer level and the staff ashore level, what is contained in those general principles can only improve our performance and the lives and well-being and careers of our people. So I think it's a wonderful opportunity if we keep banging the drum and if we use it ruthlessly to distinguish us and differentiate us from those that don't. And that's certainly what we're going to be doing as any sensible organization should, and be proud of what we're achieving. So that we're in touch with Alpha Marine all the time on various aspects, and it's been a great process, because I think what we do is great, we Columbia, but clearly not in many in certain areas. We can certainly do better, and that's why we use Alpha Marine. And I think I can only thank them again for their efforts on this.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you very much. Now, opening the floor. Any comments, any suggestions, any new leads you would like your organization, association to take on? If not, then I would like to thank SGS, actually. There was a very good, very, very good initiative after our meetings we had. And SGS is definitely walking the talk when it comes to the well-being of seafarers. And I believe if we were just looking at SGS, every organization, every member of InterManager is doing something specific for the shipping industry. And why not to take it to the front? Why not to organize something like they did, which was that webinar, and we were talking about different things, not necessarily selling the SGS product, because it's beyond the point here. It will come. Everybody on this call has something to sell. I appreciate the fact. But if we collaborate, we work together, and in this particular case, we are talking about the well-being of seafarers, that dovetails beautifully with what Mark was saying about our principles and what we have been doing as a team. Lisa, you put your hand up. I'm afraid I'll put you under the spotlight. Sorry for that.
Not at all. Good day, everybody. And thanks for that, Kuba. Nikos, I appreciate your presentation a lot and the work that you're doing. Yeah, and I was thinking about how that might dovetail with SGS Crew Wellbeing Service, and maybe we can talk offline about that. And Kuba's referring to a podcast that we were putting together where he and Tinika Zot, if you remember her from a previous meeting, were speakers talking about crew well-being in general, and then we also talk about the SGS service. So look forward to rolling that out hopefully early next month, and we'll send you the links for that. Thanks, Kuba.
Lisa, SGS, thank you. And I'm looking forward to other members stepping forward with similar initiatives, which will only boost and support what we are doing. Mark, your hand up.
Yep, sorry, I've just discovered this new hand up thing. So no, that's very good for listening to Lisa. One thing that we just on another topic, but on the welfare, well-being side of things, one thing that we are doing, and I've asked that the company responsible to really come out and publicize it more, is MHSS has, at our instigation, started the ball rolling now on this maritime rehabilitation centre. And what we want to do as Columbia and Scholler Holdings above us is set up a maritime rehabilitation centre where particularly trauma victims and not necessarily trauma victims from the war, the Ukraine-Russia war, but trauma in any aspect of the maritime space can come and get therapy and hopefully achieve full recovery. And we're talking about post-traumatic trauma. And in particular, we're seeing this not just from seafarers, but also from their families. And what we've done is we've said as an organization, we will put $500,000 into this, into MHSS setting up a network. Primarily, I think the first centers will be in Germany and in Croatia, where seafarers, not solely Columbia seafarers, any seafarer and or their family, particularly children that have been traumatized by the war, but also seafarers on board vessels, dealing specifically with trauma that require residential treatment, so a week or 2 weeks, that these funds. That's going to be called the Maritime Rehabilitation Centre. I think that ties in, Lisa, with some of the stuff that you might be looking at, well-being. It certainly should tie in with all of us as far as the right thing to do if we truly believe in seafarers and well-being and welfare. A seafarer is not going to be operating effectively when his wife and or his child is facing these sort of issues, and it's the right thing to do. So you're going to hear a bit more about that. MHSS will be out there pushing it, and maybe we can invite them onto this one of the next meetings to talk about it. But I would ask everybody, this will be a charity and a registered charity. I would ask everybody to really look at it closely, and it's a fantastic thing. And it's already doing a lot of work, or MHSS is already doing a lot of work. They have, I think, over 200 trauma specialists operating in the Ukraine for traumatized children of seafarers. So really good thing. Look out for it, and maybe Kuba, you and I can talk about getting MHSS on board, and all of you can be part of this. This is not a Columbia thing. We just started it, but said, look, we don't want to lead it. We want a proper foundation set up where everybody can contribute and everybody can go out to their clients and say, we're founding members of this foundation for maritime rehabilitation. Okay.
Thank you, Mark. Chris?
Yes, it was just to respond to Mark on that. I believe it's something we could support and help with as well, along with our Guild of Benevolence. So it'd be interesting to connect those two together.
Yeah, it shows actually, Mark, and we definitely need to talk and get the MHSS on 60 Minutes and organize the meeting on that and spell it out, tell everybody. Very good. Okay, anybody else? Anything else? If not, then I would say thank you very much. I'll stop recording and I'll see you hopefully in a week time when we will be producing our vlog. But I'm waiting for more 60 Minutes meetings because we now try out. There is no more forward coming organizations who require 60-minute meetings. So I am in demand, if you wish, asking you, whoever would like to talk to our members and organize that. And Mark, we've got our executive committee meeting in 25 days, no more than that, 25th of April it is. So that's for the executive committee members. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Nikos, excellent. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks a lot. Take care.
Bye.
Thanks.